You know that one thing nobody can persuade you to do? That one action that no matter how dire the situation is, no matter how much money is involved, no matter if they're the last human on earth, it will never, ever happen. That one thing used to be singing for me. I used to believe singing was for those born with a special gene, or maybe it was just for really large old black ladies who've been singing in church their entire life. Me? I've been on the tech side of things, managing the soundboard, burning CDs, videotaping the sermons, staying in the background. The craft of musicians was like a mystical art, an arcane, undefinable act of making people want to get up and dance, to wave their hands and link with others in some joyous, raucous chaos of pure sound. You ever been to a 21 Pilots concert? Ever witnessed total strangers linking arms and crying over the lyrics of their favorite artist? That feeling of bass booming so loud in your ears you can't hear yourself think. That your heartbeat is moving in sync with the beat, blood rushing, beat pounding, lips moving, harmonies rising, octaves changing. Have you ever simply felt no? Heck no. I didn't get it. Never felt it. Still, sometimes I don't understand it. As a matter of fact, back when I was forced to sing in the choir for my church, you already know I had lip syncing down like I was starring in Spike. Singing just wasn't my style, and as much as you can imagine, getting forced to participate in a kids' choir didn't help. But let's be serious here. Why in the world would I need to know how to actually sing? Let me bring you into my youthful mindset for just a moment. To be frank about it, I thought dancing and singing and rapping and whatever else were for those who weren't smart enough to do much else. I thought, well, if you're not good at this academics thing that I'm trying to do, then, well, singing and dancing, maybe that's just where you belong. Yeah, cringy, I know. But this came from a time and place where black drugged out musicians were numerous and black engineers were few and not nearly as popular. From a time when I could walk on my own and the place was going to church on Sundays, there were quite a few limitations on my behavior, mostly for my good, but ignorance isn't always bliss. Then, well, a few things happened at once that helped clean up my arrogance and sweep in some clarity. First off, I participated in 2 theater performances at once. This decision to participate in these plays was spawned by absolute insanity and regret. I can't find the exact point when. However, I had definitely developed some strain of senioritis that made me realize how much I had missed out on while I was too busy for anything but classwork. But that senior year, time usually taken up by studying and reading was replaced by an unfamiliar action. I didn't realize how much time went into theater until I found myself getting home at 12 p.m. on school nights because it was 2 weeks before the main performance, and director shoppers would be so ticked if I didn't have this line ingrained like a Bible verse. During these long hours of poring over scripts, rehearsing lines, dressing as a wolf, singing about eating children, making friends outside of my classroom, I learned quite a lot about myself. There was more self-development during my senior year than almost any year previous. And as much of my family can testify to, I no longer behaved as if my grades were the winning part of my personality. I behaved as someone who has discovered a whole new world to explore. I never wanted to miss a second when I was participating in the fall play, or the gospel stage play, or the spring musical, because I was learning so much about subjects that I never even thought were worth learning. It turns out, music actually engages and magnifies the same parts of your brain used in mathematics and English, etc., which I discovered when I learned I could sight read music, or play it immediately off paper, or when I discovered I had perfect pitch, which means I can sing the exact pitch of a note off of short-term memory. These abilities wouldn't have been discovered had I kept my head buried in books all throughout high school, and to be completely honest, I still regret not doing it sooner. Singing, that is. As it is now one of my favorite skills to practice, much to the chagrin of my family and anybody else in the vicinity. Thank you for listening. And while you may not now switch schools to go learn the difference between Dorian and I hope you wish to try something new and find something you'll be able to carry for the personal joy of your heart as I have. Thank you again, and here's a picture of me cross-dressing as a wolf in case you didn't miss it. Don't judge.